Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to Voices Big and Small. And on this episode of Voices Big and Small, we'll be looking at Calgary-based voice actor Lucas Gilbertson. Um, without no further ado, let's get started. Lucas Gilbertson is a Canadian voice actor best known for his work in anime dubs and video games. A lot of his work through, of course, Blue Water Studios, which is a subsidiary of Ocean Studios. He was the voice of Zero in Mega Man X series. He has also voiced the character Johnny Ridden in the recent Dynasty Warriors Gundam series. Gilbertson's older sister, an established actress and singer in Calgary, was able to get him a voice audition for Blue Water Studios. 2 weeks later, he got his first voice acting job, which was on a Gundam anime. Yeah. His sister Onalea Gilbertson is also goes by the names of Chris Rundle and Chris Hamill. And also did a bunch of work. They worked together along with his fiancee Caroline Day. They all worked together on a number of Blue Water Studios dubs. So with that, let's take a look at the roles he was involved in. So one of his first notable roles here. Hold on, let's take a quick peek at because they said that at least on the Wikipedia page here that his first role was on a Gundam series. Let's see. Oh yeah, he was. I think he was cast as additional voices in Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam when that came out. When they dubbed that, so that's probably what you were talking about. Okay. Actually, according to at least Crystal Acids here, one of his first roles that he gained was in Banner of the Stars 2, um, where he was Trexus Tech 2. Then, also in 2003, he was cast in Blue Water's dub of Dragon Ball. Among the roles he'd have in their dub. Now, to remind everybody, of course, there have been a few companies that have dubbed Dragon Ball. Most people are aware of Funimation's dub because that's the one that's currently available. But also, Harmony Gold did a version of the dub way back when. And at certain points, both Canadian companies, Ocean and Blue Water, did dubs of him. So he was involved with the Blue Water dub, in which he was cast in the roles of Bora, Yajirobe, Sergeant Metallic, Megaphone Dude, Spectator B, um, Patrol 1, um, Field Soldier 4, Motorist, Non Giant Fighter with Mustache, Field Soldier 3, Sentry 2, Aftermath, Spectator 3, Bear Fight. So Spectator 1, Spectator 3, Monk 2. Basically had a bunch of different voices, but probably his main roles in Dragon Ball in the Blue Water dub of Dragon Ball were Bora and Yajirobe. They're probably his two main roles. And then he was also cast in Banner of the Stars as Admiral Rulef. So um, they put Banner of Stars 2 first here for some reason. But then as we move into 2004 in Gregory Horror Show, he was cast as the English voice of Black Duck 2. And then in Mega Man X Command Mission video game, he was cast as the voice of Zero. In Battle Assault 3 featuring Gundam Seed video game, he was cast as the English voice of Shawnee Andres. In Mega Man X8 video game, he reprised his role as Zero. Then we get to Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, in which he had basically was additional voices here, a number of voices. He didn't have any of the main character voices, but you could probably hear him among. Let's see, he was the orange-haired or Gamma Tech, and I just recently heard that too because I'm watching Zeta Gundam right now. Well, not right this second, obviously, but in my watchings. Um, Also, let's see. He was a Radish Tech 2, um, Titan Doctor, Melanie's Messenger, uh, Guadon Tech 1, Jared Subordinate 2. And, Lucas has got a pretty notable voice. If you have heard some of his work before, you know his voice pretty well. He's got a pretty noticeable voice. Then, as we move ahead to 2005, in Dice Season 1, he was Shao Li, as well as being Moto Stringer Rider, Soldier 1, and Fenders. Then he would reprise his role as Black Duck 2 in Gregory Horror Show The Last Train. And then in Hoop Days, he was Kenji Oldman Dobashi, as well as Osaki Tech number 15, Spectator 2, Street Opponent. Okay, now, Kenji Oldman, now, mind you, one of there's another one of his credits as well where he's kind of, he has as the nickname, he's kind of got Old Man because the characters he has kind of like, even though they're chronologically teenagers, they actually act more like old men, basically. Like, you know, they're not, they're maybe not as fast. You know, the way they kind of carry themselves, you would think they were much older than they were. And I'll get to his other character in a bit here. But yeah, but it's Kenji Dobashi in the basketball anime Hoop Days, basically about a boys basketball team looking to resurrect itself after some getting into some trouble, the previous years. His character was the center on the team. Um, and then as we move ahead, he was cast in Jubei-chan 2 as Mohawk, Teacher 3, and Bear. Um, then in the Dice video game, he reprised his role as Chao Li. And then in the Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Never Ending Tomorrow video game, he was cast as the voice of Edward Harrelson. I don't know that the English dub version as well. And then here's the other character I was telling you all about. Doki Doki School Hours as Gen Old Man Nakamura. I told you he's had a couple of characters here where he was cast as an old man. Um, Doki Doki School Hours is basically an anime about a diminutive teacher. She's 27 years old but looks a lot like a child. Well, in this case, in Luke, the character that Lucas voices, it's another like teenage character who kind of acts like an old man. In fact, there's this one scene I remember in it in which the teacher's name being Mika, her father and her are out shopping and they come upon him, and her father mistakes him for like her boss, the principal of the school. And it's just kind of a funny exchange. As his character again Nakamura, old man Nakamura, he kind of just takes it in stride. But it's just kind of a funny scene when you see it if you ever get a chance to see that. Doki Doki School Hours is another cute anime I suggest people watch. It'll brighten your day. Then in Dice Season 2, you reprise the role of Chao Li, as well as being cast as Eri's subordinate. Then in Flame of Recca, he was cast as English voices of Madoka and Kashamaru. Flame of Recca is another one of those kind of supernatural hero type anime, basically about about a young man being sent from the past into the future, where he has the ability to control fire. So another interesting anime to check out. Then in the Mega Man X: The Day of Sigma OVA, he would reprise his role as Zero in Mega Man X: The Day of Sigma OVA, as well as Mega Man Maverick Hunter X video game in 2006, as well as in 2006 in the Law of Ueki. He'd be cast English voices of Yasukichi Yamada, Guitar, Thug 2, Thug 6, Thug B, Boy, a bunch of additional voices, but I guess his main characters were Yasukichi Yamada and Guitar. Guitar, I think, was the code name of one of the super. Law of Ueki is another interesting superpower type anime about basically, junior high kids being endowed with superpowers to help gods compete for who the next supreme god is going to be. So, interesting one there. So, we move ahead to 2007 here. He was cast in, as I mentioned last week, the anime DG Carrots had a number of different dubs. Blue Water did the DG Carrot Neo dub, and the primary voice that Lucas would do was as Gemma in DG Carrot Neo. Gemma is a little like ball creature who's um kind of the servant to the main character, basically. But among some of the other characters that he voices, some of the additional voices would include the homeroom teacher, crowd member 3, Carrot Girl. Wow, that's interesting. Bicyclist, banana vendor, additional voices. He also sings Beautiful, Wonderful for Genma, so you actually get a chance to hear him singing as well. In the somewhat post-apocalyptic marine anime Tideline Blue, he plays a young float, again, a bunch of different additional characters here. Young floating dock crewman, well as a Ulysses sonar officer, goateed second squad member, returning villager 3, and Ulysses damage analyst. So those are the roles he played in Tideline Blue, which is kind of a, as I said, post-apocalyptic marine anime, basically about you have the one world government, you have this you know, rogue submarine captain at odds trying to, the underlying plot is that basically after a major catastrophe, trying to figure out how best to use the world's resources. Um, so that's an interesting anime. Okay, also in 2007, of course, he would, I guess another one of his more well-known roles was from the Dynasty Warriors Gundam video game as Johnny Ridden. And then in the idol type anime Full Moon Osagashite, he would be casting his voices of Shirogami and Staff. Then as we move ahead to 2008, he was cast in the We Love Golf video game as Tony from Ocean and Capcom. I guess that's a golf type video game. For those of you out there who kind of like golf, you can hear his voice in We Love Golf. Then as we continue to move ahead in 2008 here, in Blue Water's dub of the 1999 version of Hunter x Hunter. That's the older version. That's not the one that was shown on Toonami. That was an older. This is an older version, the one that actually came out back in 1999. His main role in that was as as Testee number 294 Hanzo, the ninja, as well as Red Beret, Finks, Security H, Theft Victim, Passenger 1, Bus Passenger, Scalper 1, Applicant A, Applicant B, Applicant, basically additional voices. But his main role in the 1999 Hunter x Hunter series, which was released as a dub in 2008 by Blue Water, was as Hanzo. Then, as we move ahead to 2009, he would reprise his role as Johnny Ridden in the Dynasty Warriors Gundam 2 video game. Then in 2010, he was cast in the English anime. Now, some of you may have seen this one on, I believe this was on the Hub for a while, the Hub network, Deltora Quest. It was a very interesting anime. It was kind of a fantasy adventure type anime. Well, in this one, he was cast the English voice of Finn as well as other pirate and additional voices. But if you haven't seen Del Toro Quest, I'd highly recommend it. It's kind of another fun, kind of a fantasy adventure, sword and sorcery type anime. Pretty good one too. He was cast in that in 2010. Then, as we move ahead into 2011, he was cast in the Cardfight Vanguard anime as the English voices of Katsumi Morikawa and Akira. Cardfight Vanguard is another one of those like trading game type animes, but somewhat similar to like Yu-Gi-Oh, Chaotic. This is one that was this was dubbed. The Cardfight series was basically dubbed by Blue Water Studios. Then in the Micropolis movie, he was cast as the voice of Ratsy in the Micropolis movie. Then in Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3 video game in 2011, he was cast as the English voice of Night Gundam. Then he was also involved in the Future Card Buddy Fight anime, another like trading card fighting anime, much in the same vein as like Card Fight Vanguard and Yu-Gi-Oh and Chaotic. Among probably his most notable role in Future Card Buddy Fight, he had looked like seven roles here in this series, but his most known role that he would carry over into the other parts of the series as well was as Demon Lord Asmodai. Demon Lord Asmodai. Among the other characters he provided the English voice for included Akanji, Clash Dragon, Gale Korga, Grendel, the Green Helmet Guard, Death Ruler Burial. Death Ruler Burial, I think, is one of the cards, I guess. And Irukamaru. So some of these were, based on the cards and stuff like that. And then, of course, in 2015, he would reprise many of these roles. He reprised in Future Card Buddy Fight 100. He reprised the roles of Demon Lord Asmodai, Akanji, and Irukamaru. Irukamaru, as well as providing the English voices for Crimson Battler, Extreme Blow Dragon, Gokuen, and Guns Knuckle Dragon. And as we moved ahead to 2017, in the one dub that Ocean Studios did of Gintama, I can't. There's a Gintama, and then there's a little like dot with a little circle with a dot in the middle of it. I think that's degree. So Gintama degree anime. He provided the English voices of Shige Tokugawa and Phoenix Iki. So, Phoenix Iki and Shige Tokugawa and Gintama um, degree, I guess. Then in 2017, he would be cast as the English voice of Hajime Tengen Kisniver. That was one I watched that one a while back. That one was a pretty good one too. Basically, the main characters all represented the Japanese interpretations of the seven deadly sins. Hajime was the hothead, I guess, representing wrath. And then in 2018, he would provide the voice of Toba K in the, I guess, the cartoon Toba. I don't know if Tobat's a cartoon. Don't think it's an anime. I think it seems more like a cartoon to me. But basically, Tobat. So those are basically the roles of Lucas Gilbertson in Okay, so with that, that's the extent of Lucas's voice credits. Also, one other note that I wanted to point out to everybody is that right now, with Blue Water not getting as many licenses to dub and stuff like that, he and his fiancee Carolyn Day have moved on, and a number of their voice actors from them have also worked on some other projects. One of them being the Hermit Collective, which is he has a YouTube channel as well as I think a website in which he does animated character designs for video games. Um, so it's stuff to check out. Stuff to check out. It looks like some pretty cool stuff. You might, if you're interested in that kind of thing. Um, he kind of gives these, and a lot on his YouTube channel for the Hermit Collective. He gives a lot of tutorials on how to do this stuff. So might want to check it out. And with that, guys, you can check the links below if you want to contact me directly. You can DM me on my Discord link is down there. You can DM me on my Discord. Um, Let me see. Also, you can DM me on my Discord. You can join the Discord if you'd like. I'm also still promoting a bunch of different dub companies because, as everybody knows, Funimation is not the only game in town. Other works out there, like a lot of the work that Lucas has been on. If you have some of those titles you haven't seen before, you might want to check them out. Um, and I'm still, of course, promoting the GoFundMe's. As always, guys, never feel like you have to donate. If you have the means to and it's on your heart to do so, please consider donating. If you if you if you have already okay, so don't feel like you have to donate. If it's on your heart to do so, have the means to do those, please consider donating. If you have already donated, please consider donating again. And if you can't donate, you can still help out the cause by sharing the link. Sharing is caring. You never know. Maybe somebody in your circle of friends um, may see it, may decide they want to help as well. Also, guys, if you like this content, I would hope that you would please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I always look forward to the conversation with you guys as long as they're, civil and respectful. The comments civil and respectful. And I hope I'll catch you guys at the premiere on Friday. I hope to see you guys at the premiere, and if not, I'll see you on Monday. Bye.